going on? So, yeah, I was just doing some browsing on YouTube, and I was so inspired to check out some other channels. And I want to talk a little bit about self-initiation. Okay, self-initiation is another big reason for this channel. That's another big subject matter for this channel. Okay, I started this channel to reach out to people who are like me and were like me a few years ago, who want to begin on this path of occult science to gain mastery over their own mind and therefore over their own lives, and just want to begin. You know, don't want to have to join any cult or, you know, have to follow anybody. They just want to learn, just hunger for the knowledge. This is why I started this channel. All that is essentially self-initiation. Okay, so really, what I'm seeing out there is there are still people warning you, trying to scare you, and talking about how you need to be initiated, alright, depending on which group you go into, you know, be it Voodoo or Palo Mayombe or even the Golden Dawn Hermetic Order type shit. Like, you're gonna find all these gatekeepers, right, and all these people who want to scare you into following them. Okay, having to earn their approval before you can begin on the path. Now I'll go ahead and say, okay, yeah, this is not for everyone. And for the people who it's not for, they're not going to get anywhere. Okay, they may try something, get scared, and quit. That's fine and dandy. Okay, the occult has plenty of, say, booby traps to keep people who don't belong there out. Okay, but look, the days of initiation and all that shit are over. They're long over. You know, of course, yeah, if you want to do that, go do it. That's your path. Cool, fine, whatever. But for those people who are like me, who are occult scientists, people who study and are studying to practice and perform, and who are ready to gain mastery over their own mind and their own lives, we need not wait for initiation. We need not wait for somebody to pay, essentially, so that they can tell us that we're good enough to continue. No, those days are over. See, that's what the Age of Aquarius is about. The symbol of the Age of Aquarius is a man pouring out a jug of water, right, into the cosmos, you know, onto mankind, onto this planet. That is symbolic of the information age, literally. Because of this entity that we call the internet, the repository of all human knowledge, the earthly similitude of the Akashic records, because of the internet, we now have access to every single thing. Now that is counterbalanced by distractions of every type. So you see, just like my earlier videos when I was talking about having to remove yourself from distractions, because once you make way for the knowledge to pour into your life, it will begin to pour. But you got to get rid of all these distractions. It's either distractions or knowledge, your choice. You know, I'm still baffled that there are people that I know that strictly use YouTube for watching music videos, right? Or just watching funny Vine compilations, which is cool. You know, I watch those things too. But I mostly watch things that I'm studying, learning, tutorials, lectures, those type of things. Doesn't make me better, but what I'm saying is the internet is there for everyone. And it's your choice how you spend your time. You don't need to be initiated because all the information is out there. Not just YouTube, of course. That's just the... YouTube is like the gateway to really... YouTube is your initiation. That's how you get to know of the subjects that you need to study. Right? Once you know what you need to do, you go find the appropriate book. You buy it, you read it, you study it. You try the things that are in there. You try the mental practices, the physical practices. See what works. Keep it. See what doesn't work. You know, try to find out why it doesn't work for you and or throw it out. And you grow that way. If you're going to communicate with spirits and be taught by the spirits, you go ahead and do that. Okay? The initiation, the gatekeeper age is over. And you'll see that in everything. You know, there was a time when before you could make music and sell records, you had to go through a gatekeeper, right? Before you could make movies, you had to go through a gatekeeper. Before you could do anything, before you can have a business and sell products, before you could make porn, before you could do anything, you had to go through a gatekeeper. Those days are over. Because of the internet, now you can just find the appropriate information and do what it is that you want to do. It's that simple. That goes for everything, including the knowledge, including occult, including spirituality. Okay, so if anybody's out there is telling you that you need to be initiated, or else the gods are going to get mad, or else you're going to be punished by this deity or that deity, no, these are people you need to get away from, because their mindset is incorrect, very incorrect. I don't care if you've been listening to them for years. Maybe it's time to move on. I mean, just think about it. Think about it. Number one, who is this guy to tell you that you can't continue? Thanks, Mac. And number two, are you serious? There's this God that's mad at you and he's going to punish you? Really? No. All the spirits are energies. Okay? How foolish of us to ascribe human traits on energy. Okay? Energy doesn't get mad at you. If you use it incorrectly or use it in a manner that's not conducive to how it works, you're going to get backlash. It's that simple. It's really that simple. Okay? Ain't no, you didn't piss off a god, you didn't make it mad. Okay, that's stupid. That's childish. If that's what you're believing, go ahead and get initiated, please, and learn and grow. But if you have the common sense to understand that when you're working with deities, you're working with different energies, then you don't need somebody to tell you that. Okay, you're not pissing off a deity because you called it the wrong way. I'm telling you, all this stuff is stupid simple. It's simple. The hard part is actually getting to the point where you can utilize it for yourself. But it's simple. It's all about the subconscious mind and implanting through symbols, through repetition, through trauma, to make your reality the way that you want it to be, to gain control of your mind, to get rid of distractions, to make a clear pathway to your subconscious mind. We sit down and meditate so we can get a better grip on ourselves, to clear distractions and gain access to the subconscious mind. We read all these books and we research different deities and gods and spirits, and they're all different components of the subconscious mind. All of them. The subconscious mind is the universe. Okay, so everything that exists has emanated from the subconscious mind. Okay, all the spirits that you can possibly contact, all gods known and unknown, Ashe, they all exist within your subconscious mind. We are all individuals. Each one of us are all fragments of what you call God. Okay, and within each one of us are the same fucking deities, the same energies, the same gods, the same demons, the same angels. Okay, because we all come from the same mind. The mind is all. The universe is mental. We all exist in the mind of the all. Okay, so we're all patterned after the mind of the all. And we've been here for a long time. Long enough for people to document with proof. Long enough for it to have been researched and well documented that there are specific energies that exist within everybody. Specific spirits, deities, and energies that exist within us all. Okay, so this whole business of a middleman is an outmoded and outdated subject. Okay? This is the time for you to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, to quote the great President Barack Obama. Anyways, I'd like to read a quote from the Kabbalion, just to see what it has to say about the all. This is kind of relevant to what we've just been talking about. The quote says here, about the all, about the great infinite mind that we all exist in, it says, and still more presumptuous are those who attempt to ascribe the all the personality, qualities, properties, characteristics, and attributes of themselves. Ascribing to the all the human emotions, feelings, and characteristics, even down to the pettiest qualities of mankind, such as jealousy, susceptibility to flattery and praise, desire for offerings and worship, and all the other survivals from the days of the childhood of the race. Such ideas are not worthy of grown men and women and are rapidly being discarded. Okay, so how in the hell can we think that the great infinite mind that we are emanating from, and that has emanated all things, has petty emotions like jealousy, anger, oh, you've offended this God, Who are we to think that we have praise and worship to offer something that has created us? Those are human things. That's what people want. I'd imagine if I could even fathom what the infinite mind wanted, it'd be something a lot more substantial than just verbal praise and worship. So yeah, about people telling you that you need to be initiated to join some religion or some spiritual practice, that is not relevant anymore. Okay? You can easily find out for yourself. It may cost money to buy the appropriate books. It may cost a lot of time to find the appropriate information online or wherever. But the initiation nowadays is your interest and your diligence in finding out the subject matter. Finding the correct subject matter. If you trust in your own divinity, that you know what you're doing, have confidence in your spirit, that you may not know everything, but you're on the right path. You may not know how or why, but just trust in your spirit, in the infinite mind, that you're on the right path. Okay, this doesn't require any religion. You can be from any faith or denomination. I'm not saying anything that is exclusive to Occult or the Kabbalion or anything. This is just good old-fashioned common sense. Okay? We are all emanating from an energy source that connects us all. Okay? And it's to my understanding that in order for us to improve our lives, we need to learn as much as we can about ourselves, know thyself, and learn as much as we can about this energy that we're all emanating from, to the point where we start to blur the lines between the two, to see the relevancy and the correlation between the two. And as we put two and two together, we start making an impact on our lives through control of our mind. Your mind is rampant with distraction, rife with distraction. Everywhere you turn. You don't have to ask for it. It's just there. The minute you wake up, most of us reach for our phone first. Boom. Right? All day at work. Bombarded. When you turn on your television, if you still watch those things, bombarded. When you go on the internet, even this very YouTube video probably has an ad in front of it, maybe after it, but you are bombarded with other people who want to steal the most precious commodity that we humans have, which is your attention. Your attention is the most precious commodity that you have. So please be very protective of it, where you spend it, right? Maybe even invest some of it in yourself and see if it turns into physical dividends, right? Your attention is the most precious commodity that you have. So I mean, my primary purpose here is to shed some light on some things that you may have questions about, because it's to my understanding that the more of us that do begin to wake up and manipulate this reality to our benefit, this is how we actually change the world. This is how we actually change this place and make it better for our children, if that was even possible. But what we're all looking for is answers to why we exist, why we're here, you know, and how can I make my life better, and how can I have more money and better sex and better clothes and all this stuff. Well, I'm here to tell you, everything starts in the spiritual realm. Nothing emanates from the physical. The physical is the last. It's the end. It's the end of the food chain. It's the end of this conveyor belt. Okay? It begins in the mind, specifically in the subconscious mind. But through the art, you can learn how to implant the things that you want into the subconscious mind. And sure, in the beginning you're going to want material things, but as you get more mature in this art, in this practice, you'll begin to see that there's a bigger purpose. Okay? You'll see that there's a bigger purpose. But you got to start somewhere. And this channel is for those people who are on their path. And I know from experience that when you're starting out and you're looking everywhere for answers, it's so easy to get caught up by some fool, some knucklehead, or some person who's stuck in the past, because there was a time for initiation. There was a time when we needed that. There was a time where the information had to be guarded from some people, kept away from some people, but that time is dead. That time is over. You don't have to believe in astrology. It happens. Okay, we have entered the Age of Aquarius, which is the outpouring of information, which is where Jupiter, which was in control before, had a heavy grasp on all the riches and all the wealth. Well, now it's turned upside down, and Neptune's in control. Is it Neptune? No, it's Uranus. Uranus is in control, and it's pouring and giving all that wealth out. Okay? It correlates with Aquarius. I know I'm talking about, yeah, it's all astronomy. It's all astrology. You can look these things up easily. Go to Google, type some of this stuff in. Age of Aquarius and Uranus. What does it mean? You know, Age of, what was the previous one? Was it Pisces? Yeah, Jesus the fish. Age of Pisces and the rule of Jupiter. Look this stuff up and see what it means. The purpose of all these different sciences like astrology and numerology and the Kabbalah, all these different things, they help you to see the patterns in the symbology so you can see how your own mind works. You don't have to read your horoscope, because what's going to happen is going to happen. You might read it a day later and say, oh damn, it came true. It's because everybody came into this world. We're on this giant clock that keeps repeating itself. And like I said, we've been here for a long time, so people have categorized and documented everything. So we know that when a person is conceived and born upon this planet at a certain time, they're going to have certain characteristics. Regardless, it just happens. Right next to me, I've got this book right here. Get this book if you care about this kind of thing. It's called The Secret Language of Birthdays. Maybe that's why I'm talking about it, because it's right in front of me. This book, and it's by Gary Goldschneider and Joost Elfers. You can find it on Amazon, I'm sure. But this book has an entry on every single day of the year and the characteristics of each person born in that year. It's very detailed. It never fails. It's a great, you know, conversational piece to keep on the coffee table. When somebody comes over, have them look up their birthday, or you read it to them if you want to seem fancy and, ooh, you know, spooky, spiritual. But this stuff is real. It's not a thing that you believe in or not. It's a science. It was a science before Western civilization took over the damn world. Okay? The occult was the science of the day before the colonial armies took over the world. So you might look at it now with some hokey poke, okey doke thing that you see in the newspaper, but we understood how the world worked. Now, there wasn't a time that we weren't trapped in a material prison as long as we've been here, because this is a material prison. But there was a time before when we were here we could navigate it a lot better, and that's what we're returning to. Okay. The alchemy is almost finished. We have almost transfigured ourselves from animals into living gods. That's the process, and we're almost done. Oh, you can get scared by that if you want. Ooh, maybe it's not your time to learn about this yet. But for those of you who aren't afraid of words and concepts, who aren't afraid to study for themselves and to see if maybe there's a little bit of truth to what this crazy man in this prayer shawl scarf is ranting about. Okay? Again, I say, you don't need to be initiated. If you're on the fence, go get initiated. Go spend that money. But if you have what you believe, you can have what you believe. If you believe that there are spirits out there frowning down upon you, and if you don't get initiated to work with them, that they're going to punish you, that's what you're going to manifest, because you're going to be looking for that, number one, and you're going to be planting that into your subconscious mind, so it's going to come about. I know this because I've been there. When I was a Christian, I gave myself, well, I believed that God gave me permission to go research the dark side. So when I did my experiments and my research, I didn't feel any backlash or any, oh, God's gonna punish you. I didn't feel any of that because I didn't believe that was the situation. I believed I had license to go search and seek and to know, right? And if I found something that would lead me back to church, then I'd go back to church. But if I found something that would lead me to a greater place, that's where I am. Okay, so if you're going to believe that God's going to punish you for watching a YouTube video, you're probably going to get punished. Because that's what you're putting in your subconscious mind. You know, it's simple. It's simple. You have what you believe. You know, you'll see certain, well, just, you know, example from my case, I've seen women who typically wouldn't be considered sexy. They can pull it off. How is it that they can pull it off? Well, it's because they believe in their mind, in their subconscious mind, in their heart of hearts, that they are what they think they are. It's that simple. That's why I'm telling you, you have to realize that you are divine, and everything you do is perfect. Everything you do is right and exact and in order. Everything you do is right on time, and it's for your benefit. You must believe this, because if you believe the contrary is true. If you believe that you are a mistake and you're making mistakes, that you're a failure, that you're wrong, that, you know, other people think this way or that way about you, those things are going to manifest. And if nothing else, you're going to radiate that from yourself, and other people will begin to pick it up. That's why if you have low self-esteem, a lot of people will treat you, you know, with less respect. And a person who has high self-esteem is treated with more respect. Okay, see, the thing about the occult and magic and all that, it's an ancient form of psychology. Okay, it's not this razzle-dazzle Harry Potter stuff that you see on Hollywood. No, this is psychology. Okay, all of this deals with how your brain is functioning, how you, not the physical part of it, but the some would say the what is it? It's the etheric part of it. It's the spiritual part of it. All right, it's the actual spirit that's flowing through you, in you, around you. Okay. See, we're going from the realm of logic, which can be described in books and lectures, to the realm of creativity. Okay, the realm of symbology, the realm of art, the realm of chaos, which is what this is. The work of chaos. Okay? Chaos is random. Chaos is life. Life is constant change. You don't know what's going to happen next. Constant change. This is chaos. This is what existence is birthed out of. Okay, it came out of chaos. And you've probably been taught about this in the wrong way. You're thinking about order being the greatest thing there is, but order is death. Once you encapsulate chaos into order, it immediately begins to die, stagnate, and perish. Think about water. Water is the physical manifestation of chaos. Okay, it's in a constant state of flux. It is flowing to and fro. It brings energy. It brings life. You know, there's supposedly been the same amount of water on this planet since the beginning of the planet. It goes into us, it goes out of us, sucked up by the trees and pushed back into the atmosphere, and it just recycles, and it keeps moving, and it's been moving for all eternity. Now, when you bottle that, well, when you keep it stagnant, the water begins to fester and die. Okay, parasites begin to come on in there. Mold and death starts to set in. Right? The mind is all, the universe is mental. You have to keep changing. You have to keep moving and keep growing. Okay? If you're doing the same thing you were doing last year, you know, you're looking at living death. And I don't mean the same job, I don't mean the same hobby. No, I mean like the same mindset, the same mental stronghold. If you've got the same thinking pattern that you had last year, what's going on? You know, what did you learn? What did you do with your time? Because when we lose this physical body, we're not taking any of this stuff with us. All that we're taking is our mind. We've come from mind, we are mind, and we will return to mind. So what's going on in your mind? Did you transform yourself before you left? Did you become something better, something greater? Or did you just go along to get along? You gotta be careful who you're listening to out here, man. I'm not here to tell you what to do or what to think. I don't care what you think. You can think what you want, but I want you to think. I'm not trying to give you my doctrine. I'm not trying to force my way down your throat. But I want you to consider what it is that I'm talking about. I want you to consider the simplicity of this whole thing. I want you to consider your divinity. Just take a look at this. Doesn't matter what religion you believe. Just consider it. Just think about it, okay? How can we give energy personalities? Does that make any sense? Right? Do we personify, anthropomorphize water and bleach? No. We just know what they are, but that's an example Bobby Hemmett uses with the spirits, you know. Black magic and so-called white magic. It's not good versus evil. It's water versus vinegar, water versus bleach. They're all liquid, but they have different functions. Some you can drink, some you better not drink, but they all have their different purpose. Right? And with that same example, he also talks about how, you know, say, imagine 1,000 years from now, when they find our civilization buried in the sand, they're going to see water bottles and they're going to see bleach bottles. Now the bleach bottle, they're going to see the skull and crossbones on it, and they're going to say, oh, the bleach bottle is evil. That's evil. The water is good. That's what we've done with the spirits and the deities of the past. Okay, we just see the skull and crossbones and we say, oh, that's evil, that's dark, that's bad. No, it has its different use and its different purpose. You don't necessarily need someone to initiate you to understand that. You just need to research. You need to learn. There are books written. There are YouTube videos recorded. If you want to know about a spirit, go look it up. Go look it up. And they can all be categorized. They can all be categorized with the 4 elements, with the 7 planets. They can all be categorized. There's enough information out there for you to figure it out. You must figure it out. Education comes from self. It's not given to you. Education comes from the root word educo, which means to educe, to pull out of oneself. When you watch videos and listen to lecturers, they're there to inspire you and spark your mind into movement, but they're not there to hand feed it, force it down your throat. You take that information and you go study. You confirm it with your own studies. Okay, this is what this is about. If you go the easy, quote-unquote easy route and get yourself initiated for someone to force feed it down your throat, what are you doing? What are you really doing? You're just becoming a clone of somebody else and paying them and a crazy amount of money. Go research something, man. Go read a book. Go read a book. Get off YouTube for a little bit. If someone's trying to convince you to be initiated by them, go see if you can research it first. Yes, they're going to tell you the gods are going to get mad at you, etc., etc., etc. No, they're different forms of energies. You can go research how to use them properly, but don't think that they're going to be angry at you and causing car accidents and all this other crap. You can get that. You can have that implanted in your head if they say that to you, but don't let that sink into the subconscious mind. You know better. You are divine. You are the all. You are the mind that these spirits emanate from. Therefore, every spirit is subordinate to you. If you want to talk about the Bible, even Jesus Christ said it. You have power over all spirits. It's in Matthew somewhere. Look up on Google where Jesus says, I give you the power over all spirits or whatever. You'll find it. But the point I'm trying to make is, no gods are going to be mad at you, so don't get that in your head. And there's nobody out there greater than you who's going to initiate you. No, we're all students. I'm not ever going to claim to be a master teacher or a leader or any of that crap. I'm walking with you. I'm right next to you. I'm the same as you. I am nobody, but I am somebody. 13th love, 13 wisdom, 13 knowledge, 13 respect. Y'all don't know nothing about that. But anyways, Travis Magus, LVX777. Take care of your mind. Keep the distractions out. Keep the flow of knowledge in. Peace.
I saw myself inside Rigbera, as a thought can be found. Black hidden, primal chaos raging within my skin.